I got like my anonymity when I came out here, you know, where no one knows me.
Yeah, right.
Loved it. Like my sister lives here with her boyfriend now, and she knew me back in BC, and she was like, they're like, spending time with you was a nightmare because everyone would be coming in and stealing our time, kind of thing, right? And so here she's like, no one knows you. This is amazing, you know. And I'm like, I know, it's grand.
And now it's sort of getting back to the old days.
And now it's like, and I knew what I was giving up there, you know. Chaz, I knew that I was giving up something that I really valued significantly because of what I was putting out there, and so I kind of counted the cost. Just didn't anticipate it this soon.
Right.
It was like, oh boy. Yeah. So when that guy's just pulling up, I'm like, okay, he's looking at me with recognition, he's waving, it's a happy face. All right, I think it may be because of this, not like some middle finger communication.
What sort of like media platforms are you?
So my main one right now is TikTok.
Oh, cool. So
I'm on TikTok, and I have a lot going on there, and then from there it's kind of like spilled over into Instagram and YouTube as well too. So those are the primary ones that I invest in. Facebook is more like my private one, so I just kind of keep that off the table. So those are the ones I'm
cool. What sort of videos do you make and stuff?
So I make a lot of videos based on my job as an Uber driver, which is funny. People are like, are you the they don't even call me the Uber guy. They're like, are you the TikTok guy? So on my job as an Uber driver, a lot of my rides I'll feature saying, hey, and so they really enjoy the way I interact with people, the way I connect with them, the kind of conversations I have.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, they find it really encouraging, inspiring.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of the basis of it all.
Is that why the GoPro's mounted?
The GoPro is primarily for my security system inside here.
Oh, okay.
But it doubles up as that. So like if there's a conversation, I'm like, hey, this would be really cool to feature. Yeah. Then I'll get the permission of my rider saying, are you okay with this dynamic? And if they are, because not everyone is. Most people are not
sort of intimidated by it.
Being like on camera. Yeah. So that's kind of how that evolves and develops there.
Cool.
But it's kind of fun. It's really neat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you. I'm still getting used to though, just
sort of
walking even down like 17th or like Stevens Ave and like having people stop and say, hey, can we have a selfie? I'm like, sure, let's do that.
That'd be cool. It'd definitely be like a new sort of dynamic for you though.
It is because again, they know who I am, I don't know who they are.
Yeah. And
so when they recognize me first, that's the entering part. It's like, oh, hi. Yeah. I guess I'm always on point here, you know, always on notice out there. It's a lot of fun meeting these individuals, because I mean, the fact that they're watching, the fact that they're interacting and engaging and appreciative, like it means a lot. It's that they're resonating with the right thing, you know.
For sure.
I was off social media for the longest time because I didn't. How can I say this? The way social media, people on social media interact and communicate, was my jam. It just seemed a little shallow, superficial for me. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to be a part of this. So for the longest time, I was off of it. But then recently, I had the thought that really challenged me to get back on it, and that is, maybe I've been a bit of a snob. Maybe I could face the challenge of what it looks like for me to communicate the way I appreciate communicating on social media and make a go of that and see if that works out. That'd be a worthwhile challenge.
Yeah, because I don't know, like I agree with you. Like the only reason I'm on social media honestly is because like everyone is. It's just sort of something everyone does. But it's cool that you're able to do that. Like, spread what you preach.
Well, I really appreciate that. The part I really appreciate is that I had an idea of what I wanted to see happening, right? And what I wanted to see happening was, is there a way I can still connect with people the way I do in person? And in person, I just have juicy times with people. Like the conversation is amazing. It was meaningful. And then that's what I'm seeing evolving out of like my time on social media now, because that's the intention I wanted. And it's really encouraging to see that that's what people are resonating with. Right. And so it's not wasted time for me at all. Like as I have these conversations, as I'm able to interact with their questions, it really is encouraging for me.
Yeah, totally.
And I find that thrilling.
Because and especially like being an Uber driver and everything, and having like the YouTube and stuff, it gives you more opportunities.
Totally. Yeah. I'm not only able to talk about what I do on my job and what I feel like. Uber driving, it may seem like a simple job. There's a lot that goes into it, I would say, to make it work. But I like taking, the, like, here's what people are expecting down here, but I like just superseding those expectations and saying, here's what could be if we were able to, extend ourselves. I love challenging and encouraging other Uber drivers to say, it's worthwhile to leave with value added instead of just being forgettable, right? Exactly, yeah. So I've only been driving for like a year, and in the year I've been meaning to take an Uber ride since I started like a year ago, but I just hadn't been able to until like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, and that was my first time. But by this time I've already learned all I've learned, while on the job, and I've been doing more encouraging others. So that was exciting, but I felt I didn't want to be presumptuous and saying I know how to do this, right? That wasn't my jam. It's like, yeah, who am I to be able to give my thoughts on it? But the more I kept on hearing from my riders, man, this has been the best, or like this has been something we've never expected. The more I was getting that, the more I was thinking I would love for other drivers to have
same energy.
This, not only energy but experience as well too. I mean, I love my job because the people I serve make me love my job. Like this has not been a boring conversation for me at all. I'm like digging it, and the kind of connections I make with my riders for the most part is just overwhelmingly amazing. And saying I've got something that I'm enjoying so much. I would love to be able to share with others if they're interested in considering it. And what would that be like if I were to if I could judiciously share and say, hey, what could be if we consider implementing this or trying this out, or here's what I think of when I'm making my job amazing the way it is, and then all that's to say it's worthwhile, I think, to go a little bit further for the sake of experiencing what I experience. And so it's been really rich that way. And not only is it Uber drivers who are sort of tuning in, actually it hasn't really been Uber drivers for the most part until, I don't know, the last couple of months. But it's been a lot more everyone else who are like, this is the kind of thing that we want, and so there's that vantage point that I've been experiencing as well.
Cool.
Yeah. And it falls in line, Chaz, with what I'm interested in. People.
Exactly, yeah. Which is everything that you want.
I did not see coming that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is my full-time gig now. People are like, but you have all these degrees and you could do anything else that's like more successful. I'm like,
you like it, so.
I could, but then I wouldn't be in the elements that I really enjoy, where I have like flexibility and freedom.
And like, if you like this, then why does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm able to see such a wide diverse group of people in this job here that it means a lot for me to be able to invest and see their experience being better, enriched, Yeah. So I'm a big fan of encouraging others to say, what could be to make your current existence and experience stellar, worthwhile? Yeah. Okay, I guess this is normal traffic for this time here.
5 o'clock, yeah.
5 o'clock.
Always. In the future, is there anything else you sort of want to shift into, or are you just gonna stay with
Great question. Yes. There's been a lot of interest expressed by my followers saying, please put out a podcast. We would love to see a podcast with you. So time for me right now is non-existent as far as like spare time, because I'm just doing videos right now, work, hanging out with family. But I'd love to be able to start a podcast and start facilitating a podcast. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would again give me the chance to keep doing what I'm doing and interacting with people, but also inspiring others as well. So I love being able to do what I do with people, but I also like modeling that for many others, because I'm only one person, right? And when I experience it, I'd like to be able to multiply and scale for many to be able to watch and say, okay, here's something I can try, because he's modeling what that could look like. So podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. I was just thinking about how in some countries motorbikes would be like weaving in between traffic, right?
even in America, like
same there, eh?
Oh yeah, like my my uncle lives in New York, so I'll go there sometimes.
Yeah.
And
atrocious.
Every time it's
Yeah.
traffic time.
Yeah.
They're always just in and out.
Okay. It's crazy.
Some parts of Canada too, like Montreal, the drivers there are crazy.
Interesting. I've heard the traffic in Toronto is a nightmare.
Oh yeah, I was just there actually for a lacrosse tournament.
Okay.
We were like sort of outer circle of like
On the outskirts.
Toronto, yeah.
Yeah.
We were in Brampton.
Okay.
That wasn't as bad, but we could see the traffic like getting into Toronto.
Yeah, you know what amazes me is how like places like Toronto where there's, I don't know, 7 million people, that's a lot of people in one place.
Yeah.
And how they're able to keep order the way they are.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't get that either.
Like there's a lot of like vying interests and perspectives of individuals and how like they're able to make it from day to day without people like taking each other apart because of levels of frustration over differences that are so diverse. Did you see this baby picture on the back of this Jeep here?
Oh yeah.
I thought the guy was holding a gun to the baby. It's like
from a distance, yeah, I can kind of see that.
It seems like that, right? So I was looking at the other stickers to figure out if there's a theme of like gruesome.
Baby on board, but not for long.
Did you see this car beside me here?
Oh yeah.
I think it's an import, eh?
I think so too, because the wheels on the other side.
Yeah. I've always wanted to drive on that side.
Me too. I love those cars.
Do you know how to drive standard?
I know the basics.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm not a pro at it, but
It's a lot of fun.
yeah.
But what I'm intrigued by those imports, if there were